Alright, how's it going? My name is Zach Cohen. I'm an intern. I just made this beat. We're gonna make a new one because it wasn't recording. This is Ableton 9. Without complaining, we don't have everything in this room 47 as we do in 55. However, I was not able to figure out how to record my screen in 55. So we're going to do it in here. I'm going to try to get this done real quick because no one likes watching long videos, especially when you're going to be watching this. Probably going to have evolved technologically significantly. That was sarcasm. All right, let's get to it. So, yeah, I usually start with a drum track. One of the things I really enjoy is not being limited by the, sounds that are already enabled in the stock plugin. Some of them are good, the sounds of grand piano, etc. But with regards to drums, when you're making a hip hop beat, those are really important. If you have the best melody in the world, but your drums are lacking, it's extremely obvious. If you have really hard drums, but your melody is like not even, let's see. If your melody is not a good melody, but your drums are hard, then what I'm trying to say is your drums are very important. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So, yeah, let's get to it. Like I said, I start with the drums and this Metro Boomin kit has been downloaded. And, right now I'm starting with drums. That isn't my workflow always. You could start with drums. You could start with melody or chords. I often start with chords if I'm feeling a certain type of way, because that feeling, I usually make how I'm feeling. Not that I'm not feeling anything right now, but if I don't really have a direction, I'll start with the drums. So, there's no reason to make it too complicated. If you hit B, you get that little tool and you can draw it in. Right here, you hit B, bang. I don't know how much you know or you don't know, so no. And now, if you've never really done hip hop drums, you're like, oh yeah, I like hip hop songs. I want to make hip hop songs. Let me preface this. Like, I have by no means mastered the craft. It's just practice. Also, it sounds right. Just trust what if you're like, oh, this sounds good, and you're listening to the radio, or you're listening to a song, like, we as humans know what sounds good. Don't overthink it. Just go with what you feel sounds good. There's no right or wrong. Tutorial. Don't overthink stuff. Everyone tries to make the best things. Sometimes the best things are very simple. All right, yeah, very basic. Let's keep moving. Shout out Wiley for teaching me this trick. The drums sound so flat in here. I don't know why. Apparently these speakers are better. You know. Alright, let's keep moving. Yeah, Brian. So if you don't really know music, I assume you know some music theory because you got the internship. But I don't know much. Like I said, it's very much so feeling, because that's what you're creating. You're creating a feeling. Okay, I guess we're going trappy. No. I'm mostly working 47, so I get frustrated sometimes working in here. There we go. I don't love that hi-hat. I don't. The reason I'm really going back to this booming kit is because, it sounds better than a lot of the sounds. Sometimes, you just... Alright. So for the bass, you could go through and look for a bass. Really depends what you're going for. There's no right or wrong. There's really no right or wrong. I just hope that you can maybe learn something from this and apply it to yourself. Simpler is really... Dang, already 10 minutes. Simpler is really clutch for bass. If you just want to take a certain note, and then you can... For anything, if you're doing vocal chops, for EDM or whatever it may be, it helps. Or sampling. The simpler really helps. You can drop a sample in here. So for instance, if I drop in this bass, yeah, that one here. Now I have a whole keyboard of that at different pitches. So let's bring it up. Bring it up an octave more. no, and no. So right here, sweet spot. All right, let's go to down. So, yeah, I have nothing to say. And then, you know, I like EQ to the bass and compression. The point is not necessarily to make the best beat ever, just to show you the workflow. There's a drum bus on Ableton 10, which I use for the bass often, and another thing is, like, I'll just play it in and then bring it back. There's a button in Ableton 10 that's clutch. But we're on Ableton 9, so let's keep going. Alright. What I do, you know, right when I started playing that melody, the first thing that popped in my head was choir. Laying it with choir. There's not many, you know, there might be for Contact. External plugin wise, this room is also lacking in comparison to 55. So normally I would probably go with Massive or Absinthe. There are some vocal and choir elements. There we go. In that just come with Ableton. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to. Yeah. There it is. And then let's get another grand piano layer and just kind of bassy it up with the. It's obviously A minor. Keep it simple. I'll switch up where we were recording at. Ha! You know, what I've theorized is, if you know theory, it helps a ton, you know, obviously, compared to someone who doesn't know theory or who has played an instrument. But what I've also realized is that I've also realized give me a second. ADD. gonna need a C there if we're gonna do that. I don't like the C there, but I don't know. What I would say is it definitely helps to know theory. Okay. Yeah, I've really not been talking about what I'm doing. It's very hard. It's different to teach someone who I'm not like right next to, because what I do in teaching someone something is work off of trying to understand them as a person and their strengths and weaknesses. So it's very hard to like help everyone. This might be helpful for certain types of people. For others that they might have already turned this video off. Maybe that's partly what I was talking about. The understanding of theory. If you don't know theory, take a class here or two, or type it up on YouTube. If you do know theory, just practice what you're not good at and apply what you do know to it, and you'll excel at this, because it's very simple, What? Just practice a lot. I don't really know what to say. Da-na-na-na. Simplicity. I don't love it. I really don't. 20 minutes. Maybe if we switch this. I mean, it's gotta be louder but quieter. I mean, higher but quieter. it's frustrating for me because I don't know how people learn. I learn hands-on. That's why we can go into depth into my philosophy, but cut it off at the 5 mark. That's basically it, and then you just arrange it. It's a tutorial for you. I made a beat in 20 minutes. Okay, my dude, maybe I didn't really teach you like I should have done, but it's okay now, cause the beat is now finished. Yeah. And there's things you could do, like change out, the snare to a clap for other portions of it. Take the hi-hats away, bring them back. A lot of that's experimentation. There's no one way to do it. Once again, I don't know how you learn. What I would say is do. Try, and do. I would say listen to music by different artists or by same artists and see what they do differently. Some people recommend trying to recreate songs that you've heard. That's somewhat hard for me, but fácil. But yeah, just practice. And if you watch this and you are like, hit me up if you have any questions. Like, really, I really do want to help people. Here's one I made before this that didn't get recorded. I would say, yeah, hit me up, at Zach S. Cohen, ZACHSCOHAN, on everything. If I die before then, well, then shit. But otherwise, yeah, hit me up. If not, keep going. So here's another one I made. Here's some of the stuff I was talking about before. Completely different vibe. I started with the chords here. Actually, I didn't. I lied. You could download free drum kits. I don't know about free plugins, but 55 is stack. Shout out Wiley. So if you notice, there's a snare for the chorus part here, right? And the dun 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 dun, that part's only for the chorus, And then if you notice here for the verse, it's a clap. Some people switch up the bass. I just kept the bass at the same. This is the bass at the top. I did the same thing with the Metro Boomin bass. And yeah, take stuff away and bring it back. Like, it's not about how much you have on it. It's about how great you can make it with what you have. So sometimes instead of adding stuff, you need to take stuff out and just really focus on what already sounds good. Sometimes when you have, sometimes two great things make a good thing. Sometimes keeping one great thing makes it great, and one other great thing makes it great. So yeah. So there it is. This one looks a little bit more complicated. It's really not. This is just a grand piano layer of the bass note in the third, I believe, or the fifth. Whatever, tonic and gin. Here's the electric piano. And then here's a pad, which just adds atmospheric. And so it looks complicated, but it's not, you know. Other than that, you have this, which is kind of pad-esque, which is the same notes as the melody, which is some harp. It sounds like mallets, harp mallets. And then you have a crash, which, you know, kind of adds hype. I brought it down because you don't want it too loud. And then reverse crash, because when you come back into a certain portion, such as the chorus, you want to build up that hype. And you know, this one came reversed. If you type in crash, this one pops up. This is a stock, but if it was a regular crash, you could reverse it and turn it into a reverse crash, or vice versa. If it's reversed, you could turn it into a crash. So, and then bass, just did the simpler, and then drums. So it's simple. So, yeah. If your drums on a loop sound good, then you're good to go. Just keep moving. Keep going. Alright, it's been a minute. I don't know how much you got this. I hope you did. But, yeah. Alright. Peace.